Yes. So we are live now. Hello, good evening, everyone. So let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes and then we'll start. So, once again, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the live webinar on automated API security testing in Postman. And very glad to announce that we have very important guest. So, anyways, you must have seen him in the thumbnail on LinkedIn, but we will be interacting with him shortly. And I would like to thank you once again for joining this webinar on the weekdays itself. So, if you have any questions related to API testing, API security testing, or any security issues that you have faced in the past, okay, feel free to ask any questions. So, before we start, can anybody confirm in the live chat? Am I audible properly? And can you see my video? Soon we will be sharing the screen as well. Then we'll take one more confirmation. Hey, hi, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Can anybody confirm in the chat section? Okay. Thank you, Sunil. Yes, seems all good. We're good to go. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Yogesh. So let me invite our special guest today. So, hi, Offer.
Hello, hi Mukesh. Hi from Israel. I am Ofer, Pynt CPO. Nice to meet you all. Thank you, Mukesh, for inviting me to this webinar. So excited to be here.
Yes.
I think we have, very exciting and important subject to cover today.
Yes,
And
yes.
so thank you for having me.
Yeah. I should say thank you because I was following you from a long time on LinkedIn, from almost 2 months. And finally, good to see you that we are sharing the screen and we are discussing on a very important topic. So glad to be here with you.
So thank you very much, Mukesh. So we'll try to do it a bit interactive. So I will ask you several questions during the presentation. I'll be glad, to get your feedback, to hear from you. So we will be, more interesting and engaged in this webinar.
Yes.
And with no further ado, let me present, the slides and afterwards the demo.
Yes.
So just a sec.
Good to see Tazvik also. Jen. Hi, Tazvika. Hi, Sanjay.
Okay, can you see the slides?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So today we are going about an important trend in the security space, which is basically the dev first or shift left security revolution, and specifically we're going to cover today the API security. So the agenda is I will give you some intro and talk about the API security problem space that we already have today. We'll talk about shifting left security initiatives. I will explain about Pynt, show you a demo about Pynt, and we can cover some use case analysis. And afterwards, I'll maybe walk you through the website of Pynt, show you some cool stuff, and we can see if we can, continue together our journey, our exciting journey into API security testing.
Definitely.
So let's start from the problem space. So we know that why we need to handle basically API security now. We know all that API is everywhere. All of you, I think, dealing with APIs. By the way, an important question: how do you test today your APIs? Not for security, just for functional tests. Feel free, to ping me in chat. Which tool you are using today for testing your APIs, basically,
Yeah.
because APIs of course, for automation testers and testers, it's one of the most important component in the API in the software development today. And it's not only the public use of the API, it's also for the use of third-party APIs as connecting and enhancing your software in the organization, and also using the API for internal
Yes.
microservices exposure. So the microservices, the software talks internally with APIs. Yes, so APIs are basically everywhere, they're doors to everything.
Yes.
But
Yes.
also, as you know, Mukesh, in this revolution of APIs also comes the problem. because once we open doors, the attackers will come basically, and there are attackers in the software space, unfortunately, and they're winning basically today.
Correct.
Because the revolution of APIs, there is also revolution of incidents in the API security space. So there are a lot of incidents. There are only three in this slide. So there is a Pelton Leaky's APIs case. There is Facebook. Facebook suffered from a very severe case of data exposure of users.
Yes.
Ransomware attack done by Cassia. So in the Cassia case by attackers. So it's a very severe problem, and I'm not the only one that's saying this. Also, Forrester saying that basically security of APIs become the number one security problem for organization in 2023. And also Gartner already said that in 2022 it's the most common and most frequent attack vector. So it's a
Correct.
very severe problem in the security space.
Yes.
And the other problem is that we don't have enough security people. In every organization, there are a few security people that running after us and trying to, to catch the fire, but eventually not enough security people. There is a big shortage, and the truth, they are not able to cover all the problems
Correct.
in the API security space and in general. And
Yes.
the problem is that basically the security people today are handling, if they're handling API security, they basically handling it after the talks. So let's say that we release a product to production, they are putting some tools in production in order, to catch problems, to catch attacks, and to say those tools basically saying to the security people, this is a suspicious attack, and in some cases it's not an attack, it's just an abnormal behavior of the regular use. So there is no coverage for API security in the testing side, only after production in
Yes.
poster management tools. This is I think the problem space today.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah, Mukesh, feel free.
yeah, just want to check all of you that how many of you are using Postman right now or any other tool for API testing? Is it SOAP UI, your Postman, or any other Java library, any other libraries that you guys are using? Because we have few interesting demos today which can help you to perform the API security testing. Right now, we most of the time we focus only on the functional side, right? But we don't understand the importance of the non-functional side as well, whether it's a security, performance, right? So Postman is one of the widely used tool for API testing, and this is what exactly we will be covering today. So let us know how many of you are using Postman so we can actually give you some use cases which you can implement right after the demo. And we also have very interesting, I will say, goodies if you are able to perform the task. Even offer have something to offer actually. So let us know. So yeah, I can see almost everybody is using Postman. Few people are using Rest Assured, which is Java DSL library. Few are using Swagger UI. Okay. So 95%, as you can see, they're using Postman. So guys, stay till the end because we have some very interesting use cases and demos today. You'll learn a lot.
Great, thank you, Mukesh. So it's a very relevant problem, and uh, wanted to ask you about the responsibility. Who do you think, and be honest, what is your job right now? And who do you think is responsible to the API security? Feel free, to ping me on chat. What is your current job and who you think is responsible? And be honest with it. Yeah, it's something that,
Yeah,
everybody, have their own opinion about this question.
exactly.
Mhm.
So security is not only for testers, it's a complete responsibility. So wanted to quickly check with you, what is your current role like? Are you into completely development, testing? Are you into DevOps? Because we are going to offer something which will add value in all the areas.
Okay, so we know from our questionnaires there are problems. There are problems in this space. R&D basically do not like security, and we try to find the reasons why as R&D people we tend to leave security aside, and we not like security. First of all, it's time consuming. It's something that most of the tools today, takes you to a long journey of understanding security, and it's like, another job. And as testers or developers, we don't have the time to focus on another thing. So we not want to focus on our job. It's time consuming. The other problem that we reveal that mainly security tools do not have the context. Yeah, I need to explain to the security persona or to the tool what is the context of my application in order even to start performing the security test. Okay, it's not like there is a security tool that can guess what is our current context of the application. The next thing is, lack of knowledge. We are not security expert, but at all. We are R&D people. We know about testing. We know about quality. We do know something about non-functional testing, but security is like an expertise. We don't have it most of the time. And also the process, what we actually need to do. It's something which is always looks very complicated. And also, security is also already, in most of the cases, bad news. The sky is always falling, always incidents and attackers. It's always black. And the last one, it's not something which we found it's so cool. So what do you think about it? Write me down. What is your thing in security that prevents you till today, to test security? What is the thing that holds you from doing this? Feel free, to ping me on chat about it.
And guys, see, when you grow in automation, so it's, well, let's say you are a test architect, you can't only say that I know how to test APIs or how to test mobile applications or web. So as a test architect, you have to understand the other side as well, which is non-functional. So security plays a very important role. So if you have not started, what was the reason why you did not start, or why you have not showed interest? Maybe is it a push from the management, or maybe you did not have enough knowledge, like of mentioned, lack of understanding, lack of context. Personally, offer why I was not into the security, because of the context and the understanding. Because the moment I don't have a valid reasons why should I do, I was not
Mm-hmm.
that. Plus it the complexity part, because
Perfect. Yes.
so many tools, each layer you have to understand, whether it's a network layer or the OSI layers. When it comes to now especially to APIs, again you have to understand the complete architecture and so on. So for me it was the lack of understanding context, or maybe you can say lack of knowledge as well. But now, since we have so many sources, now I'm getting bigger picture of the security, especially after our discussion too. So having more interest now, and I'm sure guys you will also have a bigger picture after the session. So
Of
please
course.
try to utilize this.
Thank you, Mukesh. So yeah, so why it's even important? Yeah, what are the benefits of shifting left security? And when I mention this term shifting left security, we mean that security should start from the beginning, not in production, but from the development process. Yeah, we're already creating the problem very soon. So the trend today is, to catch the problem earlier as possible. And security is, part of the problem, part of the quality of the code. It's a very, thin blurred line between quality and security. Security is part of the non-functional testing that we do, but it's basically to provide secure code, to provide more quality code. So we want to reduce the friction, not leave the problems to other people or to other times. We want to remove the interaction between the R&D and security teams, to leave, just the overview for the security teams, but not letting them to do the job of cleaning, the code from problems. It saves time. It will give the option to release the product faster. The security team is more focused in management of the security posture and not in performing the actual security tests. And it will cause eventually much fewer security incidents, which is a very big concern in organization today. They are spending a lot of money around security incidents and the reputation and other stuff that can destroy basically the organization. So this is what the benefits that we see in shifting left security. But what is eventually application security? Which type of tools can I use in order to improve it? Yeah. So today, if we can divide the security tools to some categories. One is the SCA. SCA is basically like scanning the third-party code for vulnerabilities. When today when software is developed, there are a lot of third-party pieces of the code, and there are tools that actually maps all the third-party pieces, and just finding known vulnerabilities for those third-party pieces. Because if, for example, you have log4j, log4j
Yeah.
can be part of many of your software pieces. It can be part of many software that you are releasing as part of your products, because it's a very common library. So those such of tools can tell you in which software you have the log4j and what are the current vulnerabilities of log4j. And this is only one example. This is SCA. And SAST is basically scanning the first party code. If the organization creates or produces code that it's created by the organization and not by a third party, the static scan tools can actually provide you all the 0 days vulnerabilities. 0 days is the vulnerabilities that only you know of them, because it's the first time they are introduced. So this is the static scan tools, and we have many for them. And the other one is basically dynamic scan. And dynamic scan is important when you are talking about API security, because API security are basically doors which leads to the organization asset, which is basically the software. And in order to find all the problems behind the APIs, you need to test it dynamically. You need to perform the test in runtime, in something like you are arranging a live environment like a tester, and then you try to penetrate the APIs and to find problems behind the door, behind the APIs. And I will talk with you in a minute about those problems. So maybe before continuing to the next slide in Pynt, I will show you some examples about the API security poster. Do you see this slide, Mukesh? This
Yes, yes, I
page?
can see.
Okay, so this is OWASP. OWASP is an organization, non-profit organization, that basically created the main categories for API security, and everybody looking on those specific categories. There are a lot of more important tests in the API security test, but they try to map the most important categories. I will not go over all the categories, but just to give you some examples.
Yeah.
So one example is broken object level authorization, also BOLA. And this is simply, one user can get access to data of another user. Let's say, for example, that I am user X and I want to access with the API to data or to resource of my space. And there
Okay.
is a user Y that managed to access my personal resource or data. It's something which is a very, very big no, and this is basically, this category covers all the tests around this security incident, potential security incidents. There are a lot of other categories like BAFLA, which is broken function level authorization. This is if I'm a regular user that can access resources of an admin user, or broken user authentication, which all those fouls around the use of authentication. And a very popular, by the way, category is injection. Yeah, the ability,
Yes.
to inject malicious content into your, database. And this caused a lot of security incident, this basically category. So there were a lot of important tests that covered under those categories. And, API security tools, one of the first targets is to, try to cover as much as they can in those categories. So let's go back to the slides. Do you, by the way, drop me in chat, familiar with OWASP? You are testing some of the tests in OWASP, or it's something that it's the first time you see it?
Yeah. So we have a comment from Sunil. So Sunil is asking what is OWASP. So we
Yeah.
have many users, right? So they are completely functional. So if you can give just one line definition or just a quick word about OWASP, so they will get some idea.
Mhm. Okay, so why Pynt is existing and why what we want to achieve, what is our goal? So basically, we want to solve this problem that API security testing is not handled, by the developers and testers as part of the day-to-day job, and we want to solve all those barriers that basically today developers and testers have in security. So basically what we did is we created an engine which covers all those categories and basically can automate for you all the important security test cases for API security. What we do is actually, you see it in the diagram, if you for now have functional tests, you test the functional test, let's say in Postman, yeah, and you test a specific targeted application and try to do some requests and responses, and you have a functional test in order to test your application for the logical part, for the positive behavior of it. And we also allow you to run security tests. How we do it, we take your existing functional test, we run them versus a live environment like you did in the functional test, and
Okay.
we actually generating from your actual test. It's not like we parse the test, we actually parse the traffic that is part of the test, like you doing requests, getting responses. We are parsing all of this and creating a set of dynamic security tests based on the content we see in the requests and responses, and we perform the automated security test for you in few minutes. No configuration needed. The results are clear, like you see additional bugs. You get very accurate results because we are learning your test. We talked about the context. We are learning the context from the functional test. So we don't ask you for the context. We know it because you provide us the functional test, and we are creating the automated security test for you. So this is the story of Pynt, and we do it today in Postman. We do it as an add-on to Postman. This is a free community version that everyone can use, very fast. You can, if you know how to work with Postman, it's like, onboarding a few minutes, and there you go. And in a minute, I will show you how to do it. Okay, so this is
Great.
Pynt, and yeah, maybe let's jump to the demo.
A couple of questions which is coming. We will take that question in the line, but parallelly we are getting a reply from Tizvika and from the Pine team. So anyways, they're getting the answers, but still we will cover them at the end. And if you
Mhm.
have some additional thing to ask, we can do that.
Yeah.
And before we start a quick demo, I want to quickly check with all of you related to Docker. How many of you are familiar with Docker or any container technology? Just let us know in the live chat how many of you are using Docker or completely new to Docker. It's perfectly fine. So just let us know. It will give us clear picture, and based on that, we will provide you the enough materials as well in case if you're completely new. Okay, I can say a few years.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
please.
Yeah, thank you, Mukesh. And basically, what we're seeing here is my workspace in Postman. Yeah, it's my private workspace. And I actually downloaded the Pynt collection from a public workspace. I will show you afterwards how you can download or fork this specific collection into your workspace. So this is the starting point. You also see here some vulnerable app that Pynt provides in order to start. You can run the Pynt over a specific collection which talks with the vulnerable apps. It's called Goat. And then this can be used for onboarding for the demo, just to see that you are doing everything correctly. So what you need in order to start, basically, is to have the Pynt collection downloaded to your workspace. You need, to have the Postman app installed. We do these tests only from the Postman app. This is for security reason, to secure your environment. Do not shoot tests from your browser. So we do it from the Postman app. And another element that needed in order to start, it's a Docker. Why we use basically a Docker? In order to remove barriers. today you are developing not only public APIs, but also some internal APIs. And in some of the times there are, even if they are public, we are starting from a local environment to test those APIs. So we allow you to download Docker and do all the tests locally. You don't need to, to generate a dynamic test from outside. You can download the Pynt Docker. It's a very simple command line. This is the command line. If you don't have Docker desktop installed, it's something which is very common. You will need it not only for Pynt, but also for other purposes. So with one command line, basically, Pynt container is up, and we can start the tests. There are two variables you need to insert to the Pynt collection. One is one-time configuration. It's the API key of Postman. The reason we are asking for the API key is basically this is our integration with Postman. From this point, we know how to communicate with Postman. And your collection is actually the collection to test. As I said, the input is a functional test collection. In this example, we put it the ID of Pynt, of Goat. You can see here when I am entering the Goat collection, so I can pick when I go to the Goat collection, I can or say Goat or pick the ID of the Goat collection, and then I can just run Pynt as part of the test. So we have put two IDs. One is the API key. The second is the input collection that we wish to test. You can also put here the name of both. Scan ID is
just a small request. Can you zoom in if possible?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'll try to zoom a bit. Let's see if there is an option to zoom.
Control plus. Try Control plus.
Yeah. Sec.
Okay. No problem. If it's not happening, we can continue with this.
Yeah, maybe I have a problem with Zoom in Postman. So basically, this is what we need to do. Two variables, and you are free to run. So run the Docker, two variables, and we can run Pynt. Okay, so I'm running Pynt collection. And this is happening. And meanwhile, while we run, I can show you the other option of running Pynt. Okay. So the other option is like, doing this on the Docker, on the Newman side. Is someone knows Newman maybe?
How many of you have used Newman?
Newman?
To run your Postman collection via CLI or through any CI server? Because we can use Pynt from Newman too. That will help you to integrate your test from any CI server. You don't have restriction. Whether it's a Jenkins, Azure DevOps, Circle CI, TeamCity, Bamboo, it's totally up to you which CI server you're using. If you guys are comfortable with Newman, it's just one command and we are good to go.
Yes.
Seems they're familiar with Newman.
Yeah. We have some issue with the Postman running, but let me go over to Newman and show you how it goes. So you have one command line basically also from Newman. It's very similar to the Postman run, and basically what you see here, you are getting all the response of your test. So you start from the functional test. You give the Pynt as an input, your functional test, and what we see here basically is all the functional tests that are running. Once the functional tests are over, we are starting to generate all the security tests. So as you see here at Newman, while the Postman is running, you have here, some test of Newman. So you have here the broken function level authorization. We talked about it earlier, security misconfiguration, all those categories that are covered by the top 10 categories, okay? And by the way, you have also the summary, so you can see all the tests in each category. Okay, and you can see all the issues that found under each category. And basically, you can see also the detailed results for each category. So, for example, we have here the BOLA. BOLA is the broken object level authorization. So we can hear the description of each problem. For this specific example, there is the user data leakage to other users, basically. And also you can see here a detailed result. So for example, you can see which UID is involved, and you can see the resource that is involved. So for example, if I'm using user X, I can see that I can enter data of user Y. This is the problem. We will provide you very soon also and the option to run the curl command that actually reproduce the issue. Yeah, so you can reproduce it yourself. It's something that we are going to add very soon to the report. And also we cover other stuff like the broken user authentication with JWT, JSON that not handled correctly, the authentication token that not handled correctly, and other stuff. I will not cover all the security issues that are in this report, but this is just an example. This is another example of a vulnerable app that we cover and provide all the results. So you get all the quality issues in a list, and you can go and solve it in your code and basically get in 2 minutes a full security coverage of your APIs. Okay, this is the perfect visit. Let me check Postman if it's
Yeah,
finished.
maybe you can close the Postman and then try once again. It could be
Yeah,
the temporary issue.
maybe there is now a problem. Let me see it. Yeah. Sorry for the inconvenience.
No problem.
If it will not manage, we can add this video afterwards.
Yes, yes. So those who are completely new to Docker, those who are completely new to Postman, Newman, so I will also come up with a dedicated video where I will tell you everything from the scratch. Let's say even if you don't have anything, how you can do that from the scratch, like installation of Docker I already covered, but still I will try to make one end-to-end video that how you can get started, downloading Postman, having your test, then running them on the Docker using Newman, then how you can integrate Pynt. I have one question offer, like if you can tell them how you can uh, how we can get the API keys which we have to add in the collection, right? So it will give
Yeah.
them idea,
Okay. So first of
because that's the
all,
only thing that needs. Rest everything is
it's it's
already
it's
available.
it's very good question. API key is something that you need to save once you once it's generated by Postman, but you have also a way to regenerate it. So
Mhm.
everything is in Pynt documentation. Yeah, when once you enter Pynt, you have the collection. You have here the documentation. Yeah, that you can read, and we explain everything here. You can see here how to to generate again API key if you don't have it.
Okay.
Okay, and also all the other explanation how to get your collection. So all the onboarding process is also here, and we have also a video, tutorial video I will show you in a minute in the site that you can see. It's going all over the onboarding process. So if you forgot something when you want to see the video, it's also there. Let's go back to the run. Okay,
Okay.
so the run is almost complete. As you saw, it's few minutes. What do you think, by the way? Give me, some idea in the chat. How much time it should take to run Pynt eventually, or other security tool that you use? How many time you want to spend on a security tool as part of your work? So
Yeah.
maybe drop me, some thoughts about it.
Yeah. Guess any guesses? Any how much time it should take, or generally you have seen in the past, how much time it takes, or other tools that you have seen?
Okay, so as you saw, it's already finished. Okay, so I have several options here. I can just, see all the results here as part of the console. I can see the view summary options as available today in Postman. You can, play with it and see the options, but there is also another option of generating a report. Okay, I'm, going to the last command here and click on send, click on visualize, and then I can see the report. By the way, this is only our first version of the report. There will be much more improved report. Stay tuned. So you can see here the tested endpoints. Okay, all the
Mhm.
endpoints that participated in the test. In this case, this was the test of Go. So this is the actual methods that were used in the test. And as you saw in Newman, we show you all the security summary, which are the categories, which are the results. There are several, in this case, several parameters that was missing, so we didn't execute all the tests. So we tell you exactly which tests were executed. And again, we show you all the categories and all the tests that we did to cover those API security categories. And we will, as said, we will add also the curl command that you can reproduce the issue in your environment and go to solve it. This is basically the frame of the reports. Also, we provide some security warnings, which are some practice that wasn't used here, and you can see once clicking all the endpoints that was missing this specific header. So this is basically the report. It's very, as you see, straightforward to run it, just to put 2 parameters, have the Docker run, and this, you see, you do it one time and it's running. Just remember, if you want to replace the collection, you don't want to test always GOAT, you want to go to other collection and test them, just to switch in the variables tab to switch your collection to the name or the ID of the collection to use, and it will run over it. Don't forget to save, by the way. I always forget.
Yes.
So this is basically the coverage of Pynt. Sorry for the previous inconvenience. And maybe before ending this demo, let me just take you to a journey in our website. Okay, so let's go to the website. Just a second. Okay, can you see Pynt?
Offer once again, can you give it a try? Tazvika also suggested do a combination of Control Plus again for the Postman. If we can get some clear view of the report, so they will get some idea.
Of course. Just a second. Let me move over the Pynt. Just a sec.
Control Plus.
This is the report. You don't see it clear?
Yes. No, it's visible. Maybe few people have joined from mobile as well. They are finding little difficulty. We can zoom a little bit.
For some reason, the enlarging doesn't work for me. Okay, and I will send examples, and also there is a video that you can see. So I'll show you how you can reach to it yourself, and and see it for yourself. It's very simple.
So guys, you will get an idea now. Maybe once you see because we want you to test your API. See, if you just test the APIs that we are giving, obviously you will get the same result. So we will talk about that, how you can test your APIs, how you can find issues, and what if you find issues, how you can connect with us, how you can connect Offer and the Pynt team, and what will be the next step. We will talk about that.
So maybe quickly, let me go over the the website, and then we can leave some space for questions. So there is the Pynt website that you can enter. See how it works. It's basically a YouTube tutorial that you can see all the demo, what I just showed you. You can see there the report example, everything there. As you see, it's very simple process. And this takes you, the running Postman actually takes you to the workspace, to the public workspace. From here, you can actually fork Pynt to your workspace, okay? So you enter this, public space where Pynt is located, and we're just starting from forking the Pynt collection. So this is the entry point to Pynt. We also have here some, other use cases like Newman that just you saw. When you click on Newman, you can start using also Newman for free. This is the Newman version of Pynt. We actually wrapped Newman with Pynt, and now you can have API security for Newman. And the other thing is the CI/CD, which is very important. Because Newman is a CLI, you can actually replace your current Newman or add to your current Newman run in the CI/CD. Also Pynt, and then have the security results as part of your pipeline. So it's fully automated, just one command line that you are doing, which is very similar to the Newman command line, and you're having security automated in your environment, yeah? So this is the option also to add it to the CI/CD. We support to the GitHub Actions, and will support other use cases. By the way, to the ones that do not have Postman, and we will support also other use cases, because our engine is basically can connect to other use cases as well, also. Let me go over other stuff. You can, want to know more about Pynt, you can put your mail here and subscribe to our newsletter. And if a very good option also is to join our community. You click on the community, join us on Slack, yeah, and we can online give you tips, give you feature announcement, solve your issues, and you can discuss with us about your needs. So this is a very good option to communicate with us. Join us on Slack. Feel free, to do it while we're talking, to enter Pynt, enter the community and join us. Okay, we can keep in touch there. And then the last thing that I want to show you is Badges. Badges is a new program, which is basically the option to get a digital badge. If you are a security tester, automated tester, you want to add more skill set to your, to your resume, and to share it also for LinkedIn and other social media environments, you can use the digital badge. And the digital badge is basically a badge that can be shared in the social media. We have two. We have the early adopter badge. We have the ambassador badge. And basically what you can do is actually run Pynt. That the requirements for getting the early adopter badge is just to run Pynt. Just do it with your own collection, not with the GOAT collection. Do it with your own test collection that we will, judge you for a regular use of Pynt. And then you just drop us a mail with an ID that you get in the report, and we can, automatically give you this early adopter badge. We give 100 badges as part of this program, so be hurry and join us, and feel free to run us and get this digital badge. The ambassador badge is the second one. It has the same requirements as the early adopter badge, but we also want that you will be our ambassadors. Yeah, you will tell about us to your coworkers and earn a badge. And also, if you feel so, you can, share your experience of Pynt for the community version on the social media. Tag Pynt, and we can see you, and then we can reward you for this ambassador badge. So you're all welcome to join us. There are 100 badges that we are going to give you as the first or the first users of Pynt and the ambassadors of Pynt. Okay,
Great.
so this is the badge program.
And
And
offer one more thing from my side. So apart from these two, I also want to offer. So guys, if you are, let's say you want to start immediately. So after the demo, you can start with your API test, API security test via Pynt. And if you find even a small issue, and let's say you found via Pynt, just let us know. And you don't have to do much. You just need to share with me or with offer. I will share the email. I will also offer some goodies from my side. That will be a Pynt t-shirt. So you just need to submit. We will review and it will be delivered. So apart from this ambassador program, this is a quick offer from my side too. So let us know if you find any issues, and if it is coming directly or you found via Pynt, let us know. We will be happy to review and provide you some feedback as well if required, and goodies also. So thank you so much, Offer. It was a nice demo. I have a couple of questions directly from the chat, few from my side as well. Okay, so Sunil says I would love to try. Yeah, Sunil, please go ahead after the demo. You can give a try and let us know. Offer this week, the complete Pine team is available on the different community platform, and you can also connect with them on LinkedIn. Plus, as you know, it's completely free for community, so no need to pay even a single rupee. You can start right away, and yeah, we would be happy to help. So Shailendra Omkar is asking how to contact for any help, support,
yeah,
Slack
so,
or
so as said, you can enter immediately the Pynt site, connect to the
yes,
Slack, and we will have you there. And also, there is a mail support dot at pynt.io, support at pynt.io.
yes,
So you can also approach us in the support mail. But I recommend Slack, to using it.
yes, yes. For
And
quick
GitHub, by the
response,
way,
yeah.
it's a good comment that also GitHub, when we have here also the environment of Newman, so feel free also to approach us and directly in GitHub and put some tickets there. It's completely okay also.
Yeah. So one question which already Amos has answered, that top 10 OWASP you already covered. So
Mhm.
any limitations as such of Pynt?
No, basically there are no limitations. We are covering all the WASP.10 categories with many tests. In security there is always more to do. There are a lot of like in testing there is no end to the testing and the
Yes,
things that
exactly.
you need to do. But
Yep.
we focus on the most important things in API security. Yeah, so when you run Pynt, you ensure that the most important security incidents are behind you. And of course, we are improving, and we'll add a lot of other tests, not only for us, by the way, in the next period. Yeah.
Yep. Good to hear that offer the product is evolving, a lot of features are coming, and I would love to have another quick webinar again with some more questions once you have other features
So,
as well.
yeah.
But whatever features right now, I'm literally impressed because we got the result within 1 minute, I guess, right? And we are getting exactly what is the issue with which categories we are getting with the description. That is important because when somebody is coming from functional side, they don't know what kind of bug it is, right? So they're
Mhm,
able to see what kind of bug they're finding, the description, and
mhm.
with the proper reason, so they have some idea what is happening and how they can communicate with the developers. Okay, one question again, I missed that in the chat. So whatever categories you have already in the Pynt, what if somebody wants to have some more categories? Like they have to communicate, or it will, like they have some features where they can customize little bit.
Yeah, yeah, of course. We're always improving. We choose, by the way, that the tests that we do for security by their commonality, by their, the chance that you will meet such problem in the real world. The attacker, go for some very common issues, and we attack them first. But of course, if you have inputs of features, security features, or maybe even other features around the functional test for the APIs, or other needs that you can see around it, feel free to ping us via the Slack channel. We have a dedicated channel for feature requests there, so you can just join and
Nice.
ping us, and we will love to talk with you and improve the product. This is why we're here.
Great, great. Sachin Gupta have a question: how secure Pine to use? Many companies doesn't trust to use any latest tool for security point of view.
Mhm.
Example, storing some data in their server.
Yeah, this is a very good question, by the way. And we chose to start from the Docker in order to remove, those barriers that someone is getting to your APIs from outside. So we will allow you to run the Docker from your internal system and environment. And also, we are not looking for the PII data inside your request. So we are basically, let's say that you are working with user John or Samantha. We are not interested in this data. We are just mapping all the elements in your APIs, and then we are basically encrypting all the PII stuff. So we are not
Okay.
about taking the data, but more of the finding all the elements of in your API, all the functionalities in your APIs, and then trying to do some security test around it. So all the PII data, you can be sure, and we also mentioned it in our privacy policy. We are encrypting all the data that is PII related.
Okay, got it. So Sachin, I would like recommend, like if you give a try after the demo, you will have more clarity on this. Yeah, don't worry about the part because as Amos mentioned, all data is encrypted, right? And they already have data privacies, so policies. So don't worry about that part. Now, one good question which I was expecting, and Sridevi, thank you so much for asking. Pint can be used on premises as well, right? Apart from the cloud.
Yeah, this is exactly the Docker thing that basically you can download the Docker to your to your local machine, run it from there, and you don't need to be worried about some external SaaS system that attacks your APIs and do some stuff that are not secured. We are doing it from internally exactly to solve this issue.
Yeah.
So this is
So
the
in the
reason
demo
we
itself,
use on
Sridevi, we mentioned we are using Docker. So,
Mhm.
and when it comes to integrating with CI/CD, we have a Newman, right? So tightly integration.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. And guys, see, this is about like end of 2022. You must be having appraisal cycles also. So even though if you are not responsible, you can take one extra step to show that how proactive approaches you're showing, right? That apart from you're doing the task that is assigned to you, you can bring one more initiative. Just check whether your APIs are secure or not. So if you're able to find some APIs related issues, right, it will be plus for you. So it's a high time if you are able to showcase your skills, and you are able to show something which is valuable not only for the testing but to the complete business, right? Because one security issue can change the complete game on a long run. So if you can implement this, it will be a good start right now, and slowly you will get interest and you can be the completely into the non-functional as well. Because once you have the enough understanding about the issues that we have or the categories or the non-functional requirement, right? As of now we are only focusing on the functional requirement. The moment you talk about NVR, NFR, you'll have more clarity not only from security, performance, accessibility, visual, right? So it could be a good start for you to see the other side of the applications as well.
Exactly, and it's very handy and easy inside Postman. So why not?
Yes, yes. I remember when I started Postman, it was just a small Chrome extension, and now it has evolved as a complete product. So good to see that we can quickly integrate, and within few minutes we can start. So, guys, if you have any question related to Pynt or API security, right, feel free to ask any questions. So, offer with us right now for the next few more minutes. So, feel free to ask. You will get immediate reply. But even if you have questions later on, maybe you're watching this video after the live, feel free to comment down in the this video, or you can mail me. I will share all the details. And let's see, if you need more interesting webinar like this, that also you let us know in the comment section. Sunil, I'm looking forward to for initial help to get started. I would like to highlight within our team organization. Yeah, that's great, Sunil. Yeah, so that's a good approach that you should communicate with your team, inform your team. Like, it's all about how much you're enabling others also. It's not about you anymore. It's like you're helping your team or complete organization bring awareness. That will show that you have that, you know, as a team member, you're not only doing your task, you're asking your organization also to be part of this. Shalin says, I joined late. How can I start any entry points? So,
Yeah, it's very simple. So you just need to enter the Pynt website. Mukesh will put it
yes,
in
yes.
the YouTube comment section, and you just enter from this point, and then you can see a tutorial video. It's like 3 minutes, and you are onboarded to Pynt. And by one click, you can enter the Postman environment and start using it. It's not something like it's a regular security tool that you need to have a full course for it. It's like an add-on to Postman, and you can start immediately.
Yes. So, Sanjay joined us, and thank you so much, Selectors Hub, Sanjay,
Okay.
for joining us. And one question by Pramod: can we use a general API available for practice on the web?
Yeah, so we provide the code for it, and also you have other APIs, vulnerable apps, which there is an API example called Crappy, but you can just immediately fork or use Goat, which is our example for vulnerable app, and start from it. Once you onboard it from Goat, it will be easier for you, to run it on your own collection. Most of our users starts from Goat.
Yeah. So just to get
Um,
started, you can use the Goat API collection that Pynt have. But if you find API issues like security issues in your APIs, right, that will add value. So just after this, you can immediately test your own APIs. Even if you find a small one or bunch of issues, that will be adding value. So Please let us know. Shall in 3 minutes such a short onboarding time for learning?
Yeah, that's our purpose, to have a very short onboarding. We know people do not have time, to learn new things. It's like you have a lot of distractions during the day. So we put a special product here that, you can take your existing environment in Postman, add Pynt in few minutes, and then start working. This is our purpose. That's our, goal to all the testers, all the automation testers, to have Pynt as part of their day-to-day job. So yeah, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
We stay behind it. Yeah.
So, Sharon, that's the reason many people don't even get started because they have to install so many things. They have to learn a lot of things, right? So now it's coming as a package. When it comes to complexity, you don't need to do much. Just we need you need your collection and the API key, and you can continue.
And of course, by the way, it's something that if you want to explore and learn a lot more, we will provide all the documentation. We also have a doc section in our website that we are going to add more educational stuff to the doc station. So feel free also, to explore this if it interests you. Don't stop just by running Pynt. You can, learn about it.
Correct. Sridevi, we have one question. We have API authentication, API keys, API authorizations. In spite of having this, does microservices are fragile?
you know Having good practice is one thing, and it's very important, to have good practices for security. But as testers, if you don't run the test, the problems will be there. Yeah, you
Yes,
need to
yes.
run a test, even if you think that everything you did fine. Eventually you need, to run the dynamic test. In this case, there are a lot of security scenarios that we are covering. Basically, a tester, we don't expect from a tester or from a developer to think like an attacker. We are the cyber people. We implemented, the logic of an attacker inside our engine, and we will help you doing it. Mhm.
Yeah, Shiva, we would love to get reply from you. So please try and let us know. Okay, so guys, just a quick recap. Okay, those who joined late. So we have discussed about why we need security testing. Okay, what exactly is security testing and the OWASP top 10 categories. Then we discussed about what is Pynt, why Pynt exists, what things we offer. Along with that, we have seen how you can get started. So you just need, obviously, Postman. You should have your APIs collection. You just need a Docker and you can get started. You just need a API key, and within a few seconds, you can run your collection and you will get the results. We have a dedicated, separate section where you can see the reports, that how many issues you have, which category, description about each category, and yes, you can run via CLI as well. So since you're able to run via CLI, you can integrate with any CI/CD server, and you will get the report also in the pipeline. Okay, and offer also introduce ambassador program like batches program. So we have early adopter and
Ambassador, yeah.
ambassador one. Yeah, so please go through that batches also. It will add values, and if you are getting that badges, tag us on the LinkedIn as well. And if you want to participate in the goodies part, just let us know. If we are able to find any vulnerability using Pynt to your if you're able to find any issues using Pynt to your API test, loop me. Okay, you can mail them and just keep me in the CC. We will review and we will send you some goodies. It will be a t-shirt from Pynt. And yeah, looking forward, offer few more features, few more webinars,
Of
and
course,
good
we're
to
here
see
to support you guys.
sharing
Yeah.
screen with you. And thank you so much for the complete Pine team. I know they are completely active. They're replying to each and every comment. So thank you, the complete Pine team. And yeah, let's connect again once again.
Thank you, Mukesh. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. So before we end the session, guys, please let me know if you guys have any questions. If no, we can end the live. I know it's too late in India, but good to see people are still uh, watching and letting us know what kind of thoughts they have. And any expectation in the future, also let us know. Okay. So yeah, that's all from my side. And offer anything that you want to share.
No, it was a pleasure to join you, and I welcome you all, to try it. It's something that can, enhance your skill and have a better quality in your product. So feel free to join.
Okay, great. LinkedIn address, please. Okay, so Sridevi, you will find, just go to LinkedIn, search for Pynt. You will get a Pynt page. You can connect with them directly, and yeah, you will find offer Tisbika, me. We all are just in one community. So okay, Jitendra Sharma says, "What should I do as a fresher? Many confusions." Okay, so Jitendra, I would recommend maybe you joined late, so you're not able to understand the context at this moment. After the live, go through this video again, and soon I will be coming with a detailed video from how to get started from the scratch till the report generation. So if you have any other issues after that, also you can connect with me. Okay, let's take last one question and then we can end. So Uri, yes, offer has shown right how you can get the official documentation. They have a YouTube videos also how you can get started. So you will find the link in the description as well. And even after the session, I will be posting that link in the first comment of this video, so you can get all the details. And yeah, so yeah, thank you so much, offer. Thank you once again. See you soon, and thank you everyone for joining the live session. Good night.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.